So Clay, I have a couple of questions for you about just, the state of how law is operating now. I saw, what if someone has a case pending, or the courts are shut down? How are things going? How are things progressing? Is it just at a grinding halt?
So that's a great question because for a little while there was really not a lot of answers. Courts were kind of shutting down on a county by county basis, depending on the diagnosis within the county and the spread within that county. But the Supreme Court stepped in and shut down all courts for a while there, and there were still some questions because most cases are not in court all the time. There's a lot of work being done outside of court, just within attorneys' offices, whether it be depositions, that is, where you're giving testimony in a court pursuant to the rules of civil procedure if you're in a civil case. And then there are, other things going on, whether it be mediation, cases are still going on and you're trying to get that case resolved that were scheduled. So a lot of firms and a lot of attorneys started doing many of those things kind of like we're doing via Zoom, or using some sort of web-based application, or using just any sort of just regular video conferencing capabilities that they had. And now the Supreme Court has come out and allowed court reporters to, although you could do most of those things web-based or through Zoom or something else like we're doing kind of with a virtual meeting, court reporters still have to swear in witnesses, or we're swearing in parties. And some the courts were handling emergency hearings because there are still family issues that are going on, child issues that are going on that are being handled by DSS. People are still being arrested, so there are still bond hearings. Everybody's entitled to a bond hearing. And so some of the courts were trying to figure out how they were going to deal with that and swearing in witnesses in the court. The Supreme Court of South Carolina has issued now an order kind of dealing with most of those things, allowing court reporters to swear people in virtually. And so things are still moving, obviously, with a lot of caveats based on whether offices are open, whether lawyers have children that they're, now caring for and they're working at home. So the short answer is yes, cases are still moving. Albeit I think that any lawyer would tell you that most cases are moving much slower now. If the courts are not open and people are not able to, work on cases full time. I think most law offices are trying to still stay open and fully operational and provide all those capabilities and things to clients, so that they can get their cases resolved. But certainly I think anybody would understand that things are kind of a little in flux right now. But we've now gotten some guidance from the Supreme Court, and so we have a little bit better understanding of the capabilities that we have going forward, whether we can still continue with those depositions, mediations, hearings. If a court will allow you to have the hearing virtually, that's something you certainly should speak with your attorney if you're represented by somebody. They could tell you, what to expect and what's going on and what is probably realistic given everything that's going on right now. So the short answer is yes. All the cases are still moving, but obviously, as anybody could probably understand, a little bit slower right now.